the Anaheim Ducks, the Halifax Mooseheads. Two hockey teams from two different hockey leagues, both founded in the early 1990s. Our Mighty Ducks Anaheim Ducks founded in 1993. A year later, the Halifax Mooseheads founded in 1994. Both teams were assembled via expansion drafts and entry drafts. Both teams persevered and were successful in proving themselves to their respected local hockey markets and to the hockey world. Both teams had funny, unorthodox hockey names, but differ in so many ways. Our Mighty Ducks Anaheim Ducks were named after a children's hockey movie made by Disney. The Halifax Mooseheads, named after a local brewery. If there's one thing that connects both these teams through not just hockey, it's through the names that had suited up and contributed greatly to the Anaheim Ducks, but also for players that had links to the Halifax Mooseheads. A hockey executive in the Anaheim Ducks front office, current Ducks assistant general manager and director of amateur scouting, Martin Madden. His first hockey executive career and job was a hockey scout for the Halifax Mooseheads in 1997-1998. For our players and the players that suited up for the Anaheim Ducks, Ducks legendary goalie Jean-Sébastien Giguère played 9 seasons and years with our Anaheim Ducks. During his junior hockey career, he played for the Halifax Mooseheads for 4 seasons. Marc Chouinard, center and forward, played 3 seasons and years with our Anaheim Ducks. During his junior hockey career, he spent 2.5 seasons with the Halifax Mooseheads. Ducks alumni, Joe Crazy Legs DePenta, played and contributed 3 seasons and years to the Anaheim Ducks. He spent 1 season playing with the Halifax Mooseheads. Bo Grew played 2.5 seasons with the Anaheim Ducks. He played 4 seasons with the Halifax Mooseheads. These names that I mentioned, the 4 hockey players and 1 hockey executive who are part of our Anaheim Ducks, have honed their careers, their games, and their profession with the Halifax Mooseheads. I just want to say to all of you, for someone who lives in Halifax, I never would have thought to see some of these Mooseheads alumni contributed greatly and are currently playing with the Anaheim Ducks, a team that I love with all my heart and appreciate the most. But these names that I mentioned, does not be limited to just the players that were playing and contributed to the Anaheim Ducks and the Ducks cause. Through the NHL entry draft, the Ducks have drafted 5 players from junior leagues. Out of the 5, 3 players the Ducks have selected suited up for the Halifax Mooseheads. Two players were drafted out of the respected junior hockey teams who were later traded to and suited up for the Halifax Mooseheads. I just want to say that I want to show you why there is a connection between the Anaheim Ducks and the Halifax Mooseheads. Both teams have invested and contributed greatly to their communities. Both teams have shown that they are truly exceptional. We know this from the Anaheim Ducks firsthand. And for me personally, the Halifax Mooseheads are no different, except they are a junior hockey team. Both of our teams, both teams are successful and exceptional in so many ways. It is something that, for me personally, I see so many similarities in how they persevere, yet I know the differences in the Ducks fighting and battling and proving themselves over and over again to go against all odds and persevering to become the best in the NHL by winning the Stanley Cup Championship in 2007. The Halifax Mooseheads is no different in winning the Memorial Cup in 2013. The connection is strong. It's there. I see it. It's something that I want to really point out to all of you. I will be the first to admit to all of you, during the early 1990s and the early 2000s, my primary favorite hockey team is and always was the mighty Ducks Anaheim Ducks. When our team traded for Ducks legendary goalie Jean-Sébastien Giguère, I looked into the info and read into and researched the Halifax Mooseheads, looking at the early similarities between both teams and the differences. Both teams had unique, unorthodox names. Both teams had unique designs in their hockey jerseys, both home and road. And both produced great players that left a mark on their teams. Even though the Ducks were an NHL team and the Mooseheads were a QMJHL team. Over the years, I come to appreciate the mighty Ducks Anaheim Ducks to draft players from the Halifax Mooseheads, whether it be Logan McMillan, Bryce Swan, or now Bo Grew, to players from the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League like Anton Moran and George Davis, who would later suit up for the Halifax Mooseheads. To me, as someone who grew up in the city of Halifax and who is a diehard Mighty Ducks Anaheim Ducks fan for 30 years, I felt it was appropriate for me to tell you and give you my perspective, the insights of both teams. Both teams persevered and struggled to prove themselves. Both teams were outsiders. The Ducks, with their funny name, Halifax Mooseheads being the first team in Atlantic Canada outside of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League to have a junior team. It's very clear that showing you this connection, showing you the symbolic link, gives you all an understanding how small the hockey world is. And I can say that I am humbled and privileged to watch some Mooseheads games over the years. Back then, I watched it maybe 1 year or once a month. But now, it really makes me smile to see some Mooseheads alumni contribute greatly to the Anaheim Ducks, whether it be winning the 2007 Stanley Cup Championship or advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2003, but also suiting up for the Anaheim Ducks right now with Bo Grew. I can say to you all that with the 2023 marking 30 years of Ducks hockey, I felt it was necessary to tell you personally in this video of how this team, our Anaheim Ducks, was then known as the Mighty Ducks for 13 years, and the Halifax Mooseheads. Both are successful teams in their respected leagues of hockey. Both have local fan bases that are devoted to them. For me, I will say it again, I'll say it now. The Anaheim Ducks are always be my all-time favorite team of sports in the NHL or elsewhere that I follow, support, and cheer, regardless. Knowing about the Halifax Mooseheads, I read into them, as I said before, studied and researched about the local junior hockey team in the city of Halifax. And I will say that it's been a blessing to see different levels of hockey, whether it be watching the Anaheim Ducks on TV or live at the Honda Center, aka the Ponda, or at the Scotiabank Center, formerly known as the Metro Center. I can say that this year is going to be special for all of us, for all Ducks fans. That is all I have to say. Till then, I'll see you all soon. Go Ducks!